But this is the tweet now that I'm getting to. That's really the inspiration for this video, because it sounds like Jon Jones may not fight again after Stipe Miocic. Now, it could be him just selling wolf tickets, or it could be him being absolutely serious. Because the reality is he doesn't have to prove anything to anybody. But never mind that, let me read you the tweet. What I refuse to do is be like a lot of these other fighters who stick around too long. That just won't happen. Your boy Bones Jones over here, despite what a lot of people may like to think, I've set myself up pretty well in life.
I don't even think he's trolling us, and sadly, I no longer think it's only 100% of a ploy to get more money and to negotiate publicly. I want to believe that. I want to believe that he'd even risk like his own name and all of us calling him a duck and all this bad, PR. Then you can say, well, is there such a thing as bad PR? Maybe he's playing us like a puppet. I no longer think that when you take all of his quotes in totality. He's afraid to lose to this guy.
I'm a little bit disappointed that Jon, as the great champion that he is, doesn't want to give other guys that opportunity when someone's breathing down his neck. Because that's the first thing that most champions would do, is like, right, this guy wants it, I'm going to put him in his place. And if he thinks I don't deserve it, show me that I don't deserve it. Show me. Sweet, mate. If you kick my ass in front of the whole world, I'm happy to put my hand out and go, listen, you're the better man. No problem. You took my dreams away from me, but at least I tried. But this ducking and diving is something that I don't really have respect for.
Shogun had to fight Jon Jones back in the day. Rampage had to fight Jon Jones back in the day. Those guys were big names that fought him as the young guy that was the champion. And he made a name off of all those legends. So that by the time I got to him, he was a legend. He was a legend. Already in 2016, 15, he was already a legend in 5 years. But that was only because he had beaten all those great guys before. It really is the tale of sport, right? The tale of entertainment. Before Michael Jordan could become Michael Jordan, he had to go through the Detroit Pistons, who were winning in the 80s. He had to beat the Boston Celtics to get to the finals, who were going back and forth with the Lakers. The old guard has to get passed through for the new guard to happen. So for Jon to say he's a nobody, but is he really? He's a world champion. He's the world champ. Honestly, that's who he is.
People have the audacity to be like, oh, he's not ducking Tom. And Jon let slip, and no one really picked up on this, but he let slip, I would need some money so great that it would basically ensure against the negativity and the feeling I would get from losing. Mother, what proof more do you need than he doesn't want to fight the guy? People want to believe that what Jon is saying is, I have the exact same amount of fear of fighting Poatan as I do Tom Aspinall. Guys, in certain places, Jon Jones is more favored to beat Poatan than he was the ghost of Stipe Miocic.
Well,
he is the underdog to Tom Aspinall. Use your brain.
He doesn't have anything to prove other than he can beat Tom Aspinall. Because if he does retire right now, that is always going to be the narrative. There's people out there, and I know this annoys Jones, so I'm sorry to bring it up. If he doesn't fight Tom Aspinall, that will forever be the narrative, okay? That will forever be the narrative, that he's ducking Tom Aspinall, that he's afraid of Tom Aspinall, that he looks at Tom Aspinall, this gigantic man, a true heavyweight that moves like a middleweight, that has ridiculous finishing ability, a heavyweight George St. Pierre, right? A mixed martial arts version of Muhammad Ali. That is what I think Tom Aspinall will go down as. And that will be the person that Jones will be forever accused of avoiding in a fight. So how on earth can Jon Jones retire when there's another active, defending heavyweight champion? You just can't do that. That is madness. And it will affect his legacy and tarnish his accomplishments forever.
Look at Floyd. When we talk about Floyd and his career, certainly like the Money May part of his career, one of the first fights that people bring up is the Canelo win, right? And so at the time, Canelo was legit, obviously a start, but like that fight was like 10 years ago now, if not more. And so look how that fight has aged Look how that fight has aged in his favor. The same will happen to Jon. What's the issue?
This is why I think Jon is a little bit hesitant or trying to maybe get as much interest in money for this fight because, again, right, if he loses, and I guess it comes down to the way that he would lose against Aspinall if that does go down, of how that affects his legacy. People's perception of Jon Jones is also already kind of jaded because of a myriad of things. Whether that's legit or not, I don't know. But the way that it goes down, I think, could affect how people perceive him in the future. Whether that's legit or not, I don't know. But I think that's why Jon Jones is so careful about taking this fight and when he takes this fight.
Jon knows this. He's aware of all of this. And so he's going to ask for probably more than Deontay money. I don't know. He's going to ask for Canelo money. If Jon comes back and says, give me 65 or something like that million, it does bring up the classic Dana White line that he said so many times, like, yeah, everyone could say they want to fight, but if you throw out a crazy number knowing that we won't meet it, then do you really want the fight?
Yeah, I think that's the only way to really make it happen is that he gets paid what he wants because, like you guys were saying too, it is the rules. You're the interim champion. Yeah. By the rules, you deserve the title shot. But also, like, as the champion, in a way, like, if you don't get paid what you don't like, what you're requesting, then what the hell? Like, you know what I mean? It's like you gotta have the champion to put on the fight. Now it's like he said, between him and the UFC and getting that negotiation going to where they can make it happen. But I think that the UFC, in a way, may have to meet his number 100%. Because they owe it to Aspinall, but in a way they also owe it to Jones because of his record and everything that he's done. It's like, I think the UFC kind of owes it to both.
But the more I hear it, the more he keeps kind of saying, oh, well, if I get this, but I really want the Pereira fight. Man, I don't know. The fact that he's willing to potentially go back down to 205 to face Alex versus instead of staying with his belt and facing Tom, it starts to make me think he's dodging him. And listen, Jon Jones kicked my ass up and down all over this house. But, Don, that's the fight, bro. If you're the best ever, if you are the GOAT, why can't you go beat this young kid?
I think he certainly has doubts about it. When you say you want money sufficient to make you soothe the pain,
the
from
inevitability,
a loss,
right?
When you say you want money to basically soothe the pain from a loss, what you are saying is, yes, at that point the money is so great that I don't care that I lose. You'll note he's not putting those conditions on the Poatan fight. Why? Why would you put one condition on one fight and not the other? Presumably, people think, oh, you're going to make more money doing one versus the other. I actually feel like Dana's right on this one. I'm not saying it will be the biggest fight in UFC history. I don't know. Here's what I can say, BC. Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall is everything Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic pretended that it was.
Correct.
He's annoying to me. And that's my own personal, he annoys me. I get to you guys, you find it entertaining, but I find him annoying. And I just don't like him.
My existence hurts his feelings a lot.
Do you?
On the contrary to what he says, I ain't never been an asshole to him. But yeah, we've got a bit of banter with this duck thing going. Oh, that's so offensive. Do you know what I mean? He's going to be offended by a freaking duck emoji here and there. Come on, Jon. Stop being so sensitive, bro. Like, he's offended that somewhere deep in his mind and deep in his soul, he knows that I can bounce his head off the canvas. He knows it.
We keep talking in the sport about how we don't have enough star power. Well, here's one reason why. Because a lot of guys don't want to put it on the record or on the line so that star power can transfer from the old generation to the new generation.
Max put it on the line.
Max put it on the fucking line. And look what it's doing for Ilya Topuria.
Just fight freaking Tom Aspinall. Let us know who the best is. And then, whatever.
But you actually believe that he just does not want to fight this guy? Do you think the threat is that real? When you watch Aspinall?
That's the only thing that makes it make something else make sense to me.
I don't know how to make it.
That's what I'm saying. I can't make it make sense.